Hey guys, welcome to this week's Licks Livestream. This week we are going to dive into a quick little lick that has a few bits of bending. So really the focus today is on blues bends, and one of them is kind of a standard bend. We'll talk about the technique and everything, of course. But the other is a little bit of a jazzy kind of situation. I will explain how and why, of course. And yeah, the licks come from a jam that came out just last week. It's like a groove blues in A minor. It's linked below. You can watch the whole solo there, and obviously use the track to practice the licks and sort of develop them and, you know, make them your own. So yeah, also you can get the tab for it. The whole solo is available. It's linked below. It's on my Patreon, where like my full library of tabs and lessons is at. So okay, let me play them for you, and then I will show you exactly how to play these licks. Okay, so that is our lick. So just a very quick little thing, right? Two bends. This one here, and then this one here, which is definitely the jazzier of the two. And then we continue. So we are in A minor, and you know, you got your box position here. Your standard A minor E shape of the A minor pentatonic, but we are starting up here in this sort of more like a BB King vibe position, but we are in A minor, so it's this kind of position of the A minor pentatonic. Anyways, I'll show you exactly how to play it, but I should also tell you that it starts on the 4 chord, so that is, in this case, not just a D, but a D9, and then it goes back to the A minor, or A minor 7 if you like. Right there. Alright, so here we go. I'm going to play it for you one more time. 3, 4. One more time. 1, 2, 3, D. And then A minor right there. Alright, so that is the lick. Let's dive right into it, guys. So I am going to take my 3rd finger, put it on 13th fret of the B string. And before we even do the bend, we actually got a little bit of a rake going on. So I go into it with a rake there of dead notes. So you know, you can cover the strings with your palm on your picking hand, and you can also cover them with your 1st finger here to make sure that they don't ring. So before you even do the bend, we got that little bit of a rake there. I just like to approach bends with a rake sometimes. You know, it just adds a little bit of extra drama and feel. So yeah, there we go. So our bend is from 13, which is the minor 3rd of A minor. But remember, we are on the D chord, D9. So actually what's happening here is if you see it from the perspective of the D7 or the D9, well, this is the minor 7, the flat 7, bending up to 15, which is just your D. So really it's like an extremely simple, you know, harmonically speaking, a very, very simple bend. You're basically bending up to the root note of that chord that you're playing on, the 4 chord, the D. You're just bending from a C to a D. Very, very simple, harmonically speaking. As you'll see, the next bend is very different from that. But the first one is actually, harmonically speaking, very, very simple. So 13 with your 3rd finger, you rake into it, and then you're going to bend up to what will be the equivalent of playing 15th fret. And of course, you can always check, double check whether you are hitting, somewhere in the vicinity of the right note. And then also, obviously, remember, use your other fingers behind it. If you're just bending with one finger, that hurts and it doesn't feel good and you don't have as much control, so don't do that. Get your second finger in to help with the bend, and then your first finger is kind of part of it as well, but it's kind of policing the strings up here so that they don't ring. Okay, so that's our bend, 13 to 15. Okay, so far so good. And the bend goes up, then it releases, and then it goes back up, and then it releases again. So, and then we add vibrato. So, let's recap. Rake, bend up, release, bend up, release, vibrato. So quite a few little maneuvers there. As always, try and practice it super slowly first before you try and play it up to speed. Okay? And also, maybe don't make this the first thing that you play on guitar. Warm up a little bit first, because obviously you're using your muscles a fair bit when you're bending like that. Okay, so that's our first bend. Let me play it for you one more time. 1, 2, 3, D9. Okay, now let's get a little bit jazzy about it. So the next one here, again, we're using the third finger, but this time we're gonna hit that A note there on the 10th fret of the B string, and again we're gonna rake into it the same way. But now we're gonna bend up to that B note there, which is a little different, a little unexpected, I guess, in a blues context like this. But obviously this blues is kind of a groove, slightly jazzy vibe to it. So now we've got 10th fret with the third finger again, supporting with support from the second finger here. We've got the third finger bending up to the 12th fret. So that's a B note. So if you see that from the perspective of A minor, which is the key that we're in, well, that's like a sexy ninth, like a minor 9 kind of chord, But we're actually on the D chord, the subdominant, the 4 chord still, which means that it actually has more of a 13th kind of vibe. So that's a pretty jazzy situation. So it's like, a B note is basically, well, either the 6th or the 13th. You can see it as either of those two. So I'm going to see it as a 13th because we're hearing a D9 chord. So it's like adding another layer to it, which is really, or another extension to it. So that's basically like a 13th chord. So it's actually a bend up to the 13th of D, the D9 chord. Okay, so that's kind of jazzy territory. And then it gets even more jazzy because we are going to, this time we're not going to release all the way down to the A, because it's kind of a, taking an idea and developing it, and, adding the same idea. I'm doing the same thing down here, by bending it up, releasing it, bending it up. But this time, I'm not going to release it all the way down to A. I'm actually only going to release it a half step. So that is pretty jazzy. If you're playing an A minor, you don't really expect to be playing this note, which is a B flat. That's pretty out there. If you look at it without the bend, well, it's like playing a B and then going to B flat and then back to the B. And that is like, it's kind of a jazzy principle, you know, that you take a note and then you go just below it and come back up. So that's really just what's happening here. But the thing is, you know, the note that you're on is already quite jazzy, so you're adding another fairly jazzy note. So yeah, that's that's the long, pretty nerdy explanation for you guys. But obviously, this is a color that might be quite fun to pull out on a blues, you know, because you're a bit like, ooh, what was that? You know, it's not a bend that you would normally expect to hear in a blues, but it works, you know, if done well. So, all right, let me show you. So third finger bending up a whole step, and then release it a half step, and then back up. That's the way. Okay, let me just check the tab here for you guys. Yeah, so, and then after that, we're gonna release it fully down to the A. So, like that. And then we're gonna hammer on from 8 to 10 on the same string. So first finger to third finger. Okay, and then you're gonna slide from 9 to 7 with your second finger on the G string. And then land on that C note there on the 5th fret with your first finger on the G string. And you're gonna add some vibrato. And then you're gonna go 7-5 on the G string, 7-5, okay? Like that. That is your last part of the phrase there. So, that is it. That's our lick. Just a quick little one, but obviously, you know, some bending there that you can have some fun with, and that little bit of jazziness that you may also have some fun with. You know, as always, try it out on not just the jam track that's linked below, but like any old jam track. You know, try and bend it in a different context. You know, it'll get it'll morph into, you know, something else that you may have even more fun with, that you can call your own. So, you know, as always, you know, give it a good workout on a few different jam tracks, and it'll morph into something cool for you. So obviously, you know, try out the same kind of idea on different bends. You know, you can do that bend, release, kind of situation on, you know, any bend that you can think of. You know, so experiment with it, and you shall be rewarded. Also, guys, I'm actually running a special offer on my Patreon, where I'm giving feedback to people who sign up for the annual situation there. I've been doing that for a while, and it's been so much fun to connect with people and give feedback on their playing and help them sort of level up their playing. So if you want to level up your playing and get some feedback, hit me up on Patreon. It's linked below. I will basically watch a video or some videos of you, and then I'll make some notes, and then we will talk on Skype for 15 minutes, and I will give you my 2 cents as to what you could do to level up your playing and have more fun. So if that sounds good, hit me up on Patreon, and we will make that happen. And yeah, that is it, guys. I hope you will have loads of fun with the licks. I will see you next week for another Licks live stream, and tomorrow we got a jam coming out as well. It is a jazz funk kind of blues situation. I hope you'll have lots of fun with that one as well. So there we are. Have a great weekend. I will see you very soon. Take care, guys.